Yo, and welcome to the third and final episode, our Origin special here on No Cap. This is Sol here with Abbas. What's happening, man?
What's going on, brother?
Yo, it's a decider. I mean, not really a big shock there. Especially, and obviously, Karen Munster not even lasting a minute there last week. Anything shock you last week in the game? Anything stand out to you?
Stand out, probably New South Wales game plan. They executed it to perfection, I guess. Wayne Bennett, it's going to be interesting to see what he does for game 3 now.
Bring Alfie back.
Do you reckon? He's still got the legs on him?
He'll bring him back.
Yeah. I think last time they did that, they won the decider, didn't they?
They did. That's what it did.
Well, I don't think it's going to help them this time, but you never know. Maybe give it a shot. But look, the game plan was perfect for New South Wales. They executed it to perfection. Wayne Bennett now knows exactly what their game plan looks like. So it's now his job to find out how to I guess destroy ruin the celebrations and outplay them in a certain area. Maybe it's intensity, maybe it's putting pressure on those kickers.
Well, I know you know what's going to help. It's Suncorp Stadium, and it's not like what a shock tomorrow. They can have a full capacity crowd at all sporting events from tomorrow. So yeah, that wasn't planned at all. So they're going to have 50,000. You'd say screaming Queensland. There's not going to be probably 100 New South Wales supporters up there, killing them. But that's going to help them a lot. Munster, I reckon, will play. They're probably going to be back to as strong as they can be. I think mentally it's going to test them next week. They did the little things right last week. You're right about the game plan. Cleary, his kicking game was unbelievable last week. It was on point. He answered all his critics. The media, can go and get stuffed as far as I'm concerned. But, this week it's more, I think, more mental for New South Wales. If they can handle, the fans, the moment, a decider in Suncorp. They're not really successful, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. To be honest, when I heard there's 50,000 people going to be at Suncorp, I was happy about that. I was just like, oh, perfect. 50,000 more Queenslanders to see their team lose the series. But, look, I don't know, man. Look, to be honest, if we go squad by squad, it's still a New South Wales game.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, there's no doubt.
Like you said. Yeah, it's like you said, there's just the mentality of who comes in with more intensity, gets the game plan.
Certain players, like, I know there's a lot of these players that played big games in their careers, but I don't think, when was the last time there was a Suncorp Stadium decider? Probably back in 2015. Most of them weren't even in the squad. So, you know what I mean?
That's
so,
true.
yeah, so it's going to be a first for a lot of these guys in that environment. People spitting at you, even though there's COVID around. They don't give a shit up there, bro. Yeah, we've heard the stories.
But at the same time, who in that Queensland squad was in there in the 2015 decider?
You got Gagai.
Maybe.
Yeah, you got Gagai. You got Daly Cher Evans.
Was Munster there?
I don't think so. No.
No.
But they'll feed off it. You know what I mean? They're not like they might feel the pressure, but I think they'll feed off it, man. No one's expecting them to win anyway.
Yeah, I agree, but I don't know, man.
What about the fight? What about the fight between Haas and Tino?
The goat.
The goat and Tino. A couple of people say that Payne kind of backed off. Kind of. Bitched it, maybe. I don't know, man. I don't see it that way.
I don't see it that way too.
We're analysing fights now.
Yeah, I don't think.
He's the GOAT. I don't think he's the GOAT. He doesn't do that.
I don't think either of them won the fight. I think it was not to say that but it's just there wasn't many connections from those punches. No. So, and when he was coming off, he was telling him to come.
Yeah, true.
I don't think he was shying away from the battle. But yeah, look, it was good. It sparked up the. I mean, it didn't really spark up the game that I thought how I thought it would spark it up. But
Nah.
you know, it got everyone a bit more feisty. You know, people watching at
But
home
you know what? I
got a bit more
reckon.
passion into it.
You know what? I reckon it set the scene for this game. You know what I mean? It kind of, built the foundations for what to come here. There's going to be fireworks here. I think there's going to be another big all in this game. It has to be, man. Come on.
Well, that has to be Queensland's game plan because they
Yeah.
got 50,000 Queenslanders behind them.
Yeah.
So imagine there's a fight that happens, and then the whole Queensland crowd's going to get into it, and it's just going to be constant booing at New South Wales. And it's just going to lift the atmosphere for Queenslanders even
Yeah, of
more.
course, man.
So yeah, like I mean, the stage is set. The stage is set for Jake. Your mate Jake Friend. He's got to sort some things out because he's going at the biggest bloke in NRL.
Mate,
What's
trying
he
to get
doing?
under his skin, mate. Like, it's just an old
So
tactic.
mate,
It's an
he's gonna get 6 feet
old
under if he
Roosters
keeps going.
tactic. Um, now, but like, we'll look at the teams now just for the game. New South Wales unchanged, I'm sure. The only little change I saw was that Ryan Pappenhausen's 18th man. I think he should have been in the squad. I think he should be on the bench for them. He adds something unpredictable for them off the bench. He adds a bit of, a big spark in case, the game's hanging in the balance. He can come on. He can do something. Do you think they made the right decision leaving him out?
I don't think. I think they've made the wrong decision leaving him out, just because
Okay,
you
so
always need that utility player. Yeah, I think you always need that, like that player that can do some sort of job in many positions. I think if you were gonna pick for this game, the two players that would have been on the chopping block would have been either Nathan Brown or Isaiah Yeo. I think you would have had to pick one of those, and then put Pappenhausen in. Right now, they've just got four forwards on the bench, and if they get any injury towards their wingers or their fullback, I mean, I know they've got Gutho and Wyden and all that can play in multiple positions, but it's not something that you want. You know what I mean? You want them to focus on that one position, and then a guy on the bench that is literally sitting there ready to do whatever he needs to do.
Well, they're saying that, Isaiah Yeo can cover multiple positions: center, second row, forward, lock. Pretty much, if something happened to the back line, you could slot him in, push one of the boys out there. But I don't see. You look at Queensland squad; they've added Harry Grant. They dropped Ben Hunt. I think it's a bit slack to drop him, but he's usually that guy that comes off the bench and adds a spark. They got Harry Grant coming on debut. You can see him, maybe doing something if the game is on the line.
I mean, it's all going to start from the forwards. Harry Grant's not going to be able to do much if his forwards are not.
No, I'm not saying he's going to win in the game. I'm just saying he's going to add some spark to that game. Whether it works or not, whether it comes off for Queensland, that's obviously to be seen. But that's why I'd want Pappenhausen in there to kind of counter that.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think he will obviously, he'll probably come on in around the 60th minute, with 20 minutes left, and try to ignite something out of the Queensland squad. But yeah, no, I agree. Like even Isaiah Yeo, like you've seen, even though Capewell's played well in centres attack wise, you've seen that the holes and the tries that New South Wales have scored on that wing, because it's not a defense. Like I'm not really worried about a player like Isaiah Yeo going into the centres to fill in for somebody in attack. It's more in the sense of defense. They have never played a game in their life there, so it's going to be hard for them. And it's all about reading the play. It's all about making those decisions, coming in, staying out, and that's what creates the overlap. So yeah, I agree. I think Pappenhausen should have been there in some sort of form. If let's say Tedesco, who's not, I'd assume he's still not 100%. He's still be carrying some niggling injury.
Yeah.
If he goes down, at least you can leave the two centres, Gutherson and Wyden there, who have at least got some sort of experience in the centres, and put Pappenhausen at centre, fullback. And same thing goes with Cody Walker. If Cody Walker or Cleary get injured, Pappenhausen, he might not perform, but
Still, man,
At
you
least
still
it's
need some. You
yeah,
still need something like that, like a Matty Bowen, like back in the day off the bench. You know, just
yeah.
adding something to the game, adding something for them back in the day for Queensland. You know, I was shocked about, bro. Daniel Tupou, man, he had a freaking unbelievable game last week, man. He
What?
was so bad game one, and then game two, he just raised his level, man.
I mean, I don't think he was that bad. He made that mistake that led to the Munster try,
Oh,
but I
like,
don't think he was too bad in game one.
mm,
I think he did a lot of good meters, but yeah, game two was. I mean, I was before they gave the man of the match award to Cleary. I thought Tupou would have got it. To be honest, I thought he had an absolute blinder. He just Queensland had no answer for him. I mean, they kicked to him the whole first half, and I think Wayne Bennett just put him in the sheds and just like, what he's doing, stop kicking to him. And then they started going towards Addo-Carr's wing, which obviously is not any better. But yeah, like he just had a great game one.
yeah,
So
man, yeah, man.
had a
He
great
was
game
awesome.
two. Sorry.
Yeah, he was awesome, man. He was awesome. Queensland, there's not really much to say about there. They dropped Philip Sammy. He wasn't great. Corey Allen jumps in there. He had a pretty good season with Souths, and Welsh comes back in. Um, who's the danger man you see for both sides? Who's the key to victory for both sides here? So let's go Queensland first. Who's the key to victory for Queensland?
Key to victory is their halves, no
Yeah,
doubt about it. You saw what they did in game one and how they like kept them in the game, and then just in a 20-minute period they struck, and that's it. New South Wales had no response for it. Munster getting that HIA and then not coming back after game one,
oh, killed their chances. Killed their
coming
chances
after
that game.
game two, yeah, it destroyed it. So I think their biggest thing is the halves and maybe, like you said, a spark coming out of Harry Grant. But other than that, I don't really see much. Like Gagai, obviously Gagai is going to do what he does.
Mm.
Valentine Holmes was very quiet game two, so
Yeah, I mean, it was his first game first Origin for 2 years, so probably just getting back into the groove of it. For me, I'm with you. Cameron Munster, he's key, man. Him and Daly Cherub and Zeke, and they can't win without him. That's as simple as that. They can't win unless they're fiery. And for New South Wales, for me, bro, for New South Wales, it's the 4-pack, man. The 4-pack, 50,000 Queenslanders, they've got to come to the party, bro. They've got to step it up, man, even more so than last week. Because you can easily get overawed, that first 10 minutes when everyone's going at each other hard and everyone's just using up their energy there. You can kind of lose the
mhm.
game there if you don't hold your own. I feel like if New South Wales is going to win, if the 4-pack's got to hold their own that first 10 minutes and start, running through, overpowering them during the game.
Yeah, no, I agree. 4-pack. I mean, you're gonna see the highlights are gonna come from your Cook, your Cleary, your Addo-Carr, your Tedesco. They're gonna come from them, but it's gonna be the foundation that the forward set. It's gonna be
Yeah.
those quick play the balls that they get. It's gonna be getting Queensland on the back foot and letting Cook get into dummy half and make those plays. But yeah, if the 4-packs are not on, then I think New South Wales are going to find it very tough because right now they've just got a gritty side, and if the grit's not there, then what's like other than their back line, what's there?
Yeah.
You don't have much. You don't have a second rower that's like Angus Crichton and Tyson Frizzell. They've had like a solid 7 out of 10 game out of game one and game two,
They
but
haven't been
nothing special.
standouts. Yeah, they haven't been
Yeah, they
standouts.
haven't sparked anything. So, but I'll tell you what, I actually think that I know Jake Trebojevic could probably play 80 minutes, but I think the best way to use Jake and Isaiah Yeo would just be to put Isaiah in after like maybe 20, 25 minutes, maybe 30 minutes into the half.
Yeah.
Get those tired forwards there, and then just let Isaiah Yeo just try to go in the middle of the ruck. I mean, that's what he's so good at, is just his footwork and being able to, get tackle breaks. So,
Yeah, I
yeah,
think
it'll be
because you're
interesting to
right.
see.
You're right because Jake does a lot of work, man. And I feel like, I think if you give him a better 10, 20 minute, 10 to 15-minute break, comes back on, he has so much more of an impact than him staying out there for the 80 minutes. He just starts just doing too much work and he just loses all his energy. So you're right about that.
Well, I mean, if they put Isaiah Yeo on the 25th minute, That'll give Jake 15 minutes and then half time. So he'll come back maybe in the 55th minute,
Easy.
fresh,
Yeah.
with 25 to 20 minutes left of the game, and he can just give us everything he's got then. Which I mean, you don't want Jake Trbojevic to be tired because he's in the middle of the field. You
Yeah.
don't want to let easy tries in the middle of the field. You want him to be fresh and focused. So
Exactly. All right,
it'll be
let's
interesting to
go.
see what Fiddler does.
Let's go. Tips. Who's winning?
I'll go New South Wales by 4.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I was going to say, I'm going New South Wales by 1. I think they're going Golden Point. And Cleary kicks the field goal. What do you reckon?
It'll be interesting to see. I think he's kicked a few this year, hasn't he?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So it'll be good to see. I don't know. I think one is.
And then they won't touch him. They won't talk about him negatively for the next 5 years, bro.
Do you reckon he'll get that?
Nah, bullshit. They watch him lose game 1 next year or something, and then they go back on him. Anyway, man. Thanks for your thoughts, bro. This it? Is that the last one, bro, for the year? We're done?
I think it is, man. I think
we're gonna do a review or not?
There might be a big outroar from all the fans.
Yeah, I don't know. Look, I don't know. We might do a special. I don't know. We might do a trade special after this. I'm not sure, but for the time being, man, thanks for helping me out this year. Thanks for jumping on, bro. I really appreciate it, bro.
All good, brother. It's been a pleasure.
Next year, do I have to renegotiate contract? What's going on?
We'll see. We'll see how much. We'll see who else is looking out for me.
So you got other offers.
Some other offers.
You got other
maybe.
offers.
We'll see what happens.
Okay.
See what happens. Maybe I'll get a leave role somewhere.
Contract doesn't mean nothing these days. Say this crap, bro.
Oh
man.
I think there's a player option in the second year.
Yeah, true. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
No
thanks to everyone.
See you, bro.
Enjoy the game. Enjoy the decider. And thanks. Finally, no footy till March, I think. Take care.